Let's do car news of the week. The first piece of news involves a fifth vehicle joining the Genesis lineup. Remember, Genesis is the luxury brand for Hyundai. Now, the G70, the G80, and the G90 are the cars, and they have the GV80 for the bigger SUV. The brand new one is a 2022 GV70, and it's a mid-sized luxury SUV based on the rear-wheel drive platform with available all-wheel drive. It's going to offer launch control and a limited slip differential, so already looks like some sporty ingredients. Two engines will be available, with a third that I don't think is coming to America, but the top tier one is a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 making 380 horsepower. There's a 2.5 liter turbo for gas that makes 300 horsepower. And then there's a 2.2 liter diesel, but I don't think that'll be coming stateside. They all have an 8-speed automatic transmission. So from the exterior styling, this large front metallic grille that styled after the Genesis logo, the rest of the lineup is all going kind of to this design styling too. You have the separated headlights and taillights with the thin DRLs. I think it looks really good. There are 13 exterior colors and 5 interior colors, and you can even get a matte exterior paint. And it looks like they really took the GV80 and scaled it down slightly, so it's not a bad thing. It looks good. There's an available sport package that brings like round exhaust tip, blacked out dark chrome trim, unique wheels, and carbon fiber on the inside, and a different steering wheel. We have something they're calling Preview electronic control suspension. So it's using the cameras to scan the road ahead and allow it to essentially predict what's going to occur, so you have a more ideal ride with terms of suspension and potholes or bumps or whatever's going on in the road. You also have all the driver assistant features. Everything has all the lane keep assist and the safety stuff and the pedestrian this and the whatever, all of that. So you'll be certain to get all of that in the GV70. And then the last really cool thing is they're including some biometric technology, like a fingerprint sensor, which you can use for something Genesis is calling like Car Pay, I think, Genesis Car Pay, which you can pay for things like gas. It also allows you to do this valet mode and hide any phone numbers or addresses if you're giving the car to a valet. And the last one is if you can turn a car on with your fingerprint, it sets all the settings to yours, the seat, the sound system, whatever you want to do. So this is really cool. I'm looking forward to driving the new Genesis vehicles at some point, definitely the GV80 and hopefully this GV70. Before we get any further, this video has been sponsored by Ridge Wallet. I've been using this recently. Mine is made of burnt titanium, which is just awesome. It holds up to 12 credit cards and cash also. Lifetime guarantee. If you're not satisfied with it, you can send it back in 45 days for a full refund. Use my discount code EddieX below for 10% off. I've got this one. There's a carbon fiber one. It's forged carbon. There's an aluminum one. They're pretty awesome. Nice, clean, minimalist, and I'm very happy with this. Use my discount code. Continuing on the car news, we've got a Camaro brake pads issue. So next year, if you live in the states of California or Washington, you will not be allowed to purchase a Camaro SS, a 1LE version of the SS, or a ZL1. For the most weird, random reason in the world, there was this law passed like a decade ago in those states where they were prohibiting the usage of copper in brake pads, and it had to be below a certain percentage, and they're slowly phasing out. And somehow, like, the memo was missed or something happened where now these Camaros still have too much copper in their brake pads, and therefore they will not be allowed to be sold. They're going to be back in 2022, so there will be new brake pads that are coming out, but somehow the ball seemed to have been dropped here. The reason is the toxicity of the copper when it comes off your pads and ends up somehow in waterways can affect fish and other aquatic life. And the industry has been moving towards like this agreement to get rid of copper from brake pads, which is fine. Brembo's has these copper-free brake pads, so somehow the Camaros don't have them yet. So if you want to buy a Camaro SS, 1LE, or a ZL1, and you live in California, you can't do that next year. It's kind of strange. The next piece of news involves the 1 millionth Porsche Cayenne has rolled off the assembly line. That's impressive. Porsche was one of the first ones to get into this kind of luxury, high-performance, sporty SUV, and as a brand that came from building the 911 sports cars, initially people were like, what in the world's going on? You can't make an SUV. You're not supposed to make an SUV. And now look what's happened. Lamborghini has an SUV. Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Ferrari is going to be making an SUV. So the Cayenne really did that. They pioneered this entire segment. So it was way, way back in 2002. So now 18 years later, They have built the 1 millionth Cayenne. It was a GTS in Carmine Red that was delivered to a German customer. Way back when Cayenne apparently was codenamed the Colorado, when it was launched, Porsche worked with Volkswagen. Now it's the same family of vehicles, but they wanted to make something that was give you a dynamic driving experience, off-road vehicle, could take all sorts of terrain. So the first one started selling really well, and then as it just ramped up, it overtook the 911, and the sales numbers have been just crazy. And it spawned, now we have the Panamera, the sedan, and the Cayenne, the full size, has a coupe version now. They do hybrid stuff. The Cayenne Turbo S is insanely fast. Like, they're setting lap records for performance SUVs, and it has allowed them to fund developing crazy sports cars like a GT2 RS or the 911 Touring and things like that. So ultimately, we have to thank the Cayenne exists, and 1 million vehicles sold. That is quite impressive. The last piece of news involves some brand new Nissans. They have released the new Nissan Kicks and the Nissan Armada refresh. So the Kicks is a refresh of the smallest and least expensive crossover in the Nissan lineup. And here are the couple things that I think were important to know about the refresh for the Kicks. You now have standard Apple CarPlay and regular Android Auto, which is pretty important for people of that generation looking for a car in that range. You have brand new exterior styling that's kind of that double V motion front grille, LED headlights, new wheel designs. On the inside, you have updated interiors on the center console, new seating and trim materials. We have best-in-class ratings of fuel economy of 31 mpg city, 36 highway, and 33 combined. With the whole color combination customizing to you, which Nissan is trying to aim the Kicks at that generation. You have over 100 million available color combinations. I should be spending some time with the refresh Kick soon. It is the smallest entry-level, least powerful, fuel-efficient, filled with tech, kind of stylish little crossover to Nissan lineup, so we'll talk more about that later. The 2021 Armada also got a refresh. That's the big, giant, full-size, enormous Nissan SUV. So we've got new interior, exterior, which is new grille, hood, front fenders, front rear bumpers, headlights, taillights, and it's the first new Nissan to carry the updated logo, which is really cool. It's really clean, more minimalistic design, and it's updated, and the Nissan Armada is going to be debuting that on a vehicle. Still the same 5.6 V8 naturally aspirated. It makes 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque, will tow 8,500 pounds. It's still the 7-speed auto, but I assume it will likely get the 9-speed transmission that was found in the Nissan Titan. Spent some time with the Titan. It was also pretty nice. You have a giant 12.3-inch touchscreen in the middle, wireless CarPlay, regular Android Auto. There's also a midnight edition that's all blacked out and looks pretty cool. So that's the latest 2 refreshes from the Nissan lineup, and that concludes car news of the week.